This is a podcast or something like that. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the podcast. I now have a pop filter that I just got on Amazon. It's a complete piece of junk, and it's already broken, like basically before I used it. But with a rubber band, I figured out how to sort of fix it to the mic stand. And it's broken in a fundamental way. It's absurd. But regardless, I can say podcast now. Welcome to the podcast. And, look, is it sad that I didn't have a pop filter for all these other videos? And, you can hear some of the pops. Yeah, it's sad. But we can face it head on. I think we can move on from it. Because at the end of the day, pops are parts of life, and sometimes people pop into your ear, and I think my videos should kind of replicate that, so you can get desensitized to it, because that's a real part of life. That's a real part of life. I'm always walking around, and then someone just pops in my ear. So I think if my videos can help kind of prepare people prepare people for that possible postulation. Okay, anyways, so welcome to the Verbal Journal podcast. We've got a few new people at the Patreon. So we got a bunch of new channel supporters. Thank you for supporting the channel. You new people and you pre-existing supporters. All y'all. Thank you, and I hope you are having a fantastic day or night or afternoon. This is a space for me to just kind of explore different subjects. If you listen back to the different podcast episodes, so this is number 15, right? We have a tradition where I check what number episode we're on, and then I'm always right, but I always check. Let's see. I got to scroll down a little bit to find it. Yep, episode 15. Okay, the tradition continues. Yeah, I had to scroll down a little to find it because I posted 5 different posts along with the new video. The new Breaking Bad video dropped on Friday. Today is Sunday. I dropped it. I did it. I successfully did finish this project that I've been working on for months. And that I decided to start working on, I believe, in episode 2 of the podcast. Listen back to episode 2. If you want to hear me convince myself in real time, you know what? Let's just do the Breaking Bad video. Actually, should I go back and play it? Would it be funny to just play it on the pod? I should have prepared that. Oh, wow. That's going to be audible. Oh my God. Okay, I need to turn the volume down of that. Sorry about that. So that was not ideal. Okay, so basically I have the audio alerts on, and that's because I record in Streamlabs. That's usually not a problem though. Why are the audio alerts on? That seems bizarre. Okay, so those should not go off again. Why would that never have happened before? I mean, it was a subscriber on YouTube. That's what the alert was. Because Streamlabs will tell me that because I have it cross connected with YouTube and Twitch, and I don't know why. I should just turn off YouTube subscriptions, but as an alert. But I don't know why that never would have happened before. I mean, I am getting subscriptions a lot faster now with this video. I'm getting subscriptions every minute or more, but I certainly was still getting. Actually, no, I actually was getting them pretty slow. Before this video, I think I was only getting 10, maybe 20 subscriptions a day. And so it is actually possible that I just never got a YouTube subscription while I was recording the podcast. That does seem a little bizarre though. About 14 hours so far of podcast recording. You're telling me I never got a YouTube subscription? That seems statistically unlikely. Regardless, this is not interesting. But yeah, I mean, this is what we do here. But anyways, I'm not going to try to find the clip of where I convinced myself because I think it's a little bit of an extended thing. But yeah, go back to episode 2 I believe that's when I convinced myself, okay, let's just go ahead and watch Breaking Bad. And it's gone really well. I mean, yeah, I'm so happy to have all these new channel supporters. Literally just, waking up to like 3 new channel supporters. And, it's just very nice. It's very cool. And I don't care if people just support for, a month or 2 months or, whatever. Like, people just do whatever works for them. But yeah, it's really cool to like just have people who like my stuff enough to like want to go above and beyond in that way, because it really is above and beyond. I support some people on Patreon, but it's only the people like I really like. I watch and enjoy so much stuff that I never support the people. And oh my god, someone supported at the $10 tier. Actually, 2 people did in the last like 2 days. That's really cool. So anyways, yeah. Really, really excited about the huge response. So while we're talking about, like numbers and stuff like that, this video is getting a number of views that is so exponentially, like exponentially beyond anything I've experienced before. And it's funny with YouTube because that just like, that's how it happens, is like each step is sort of a big step usually. Like, you're always taking small steps, and then there's these big steps that are exponential. I guess that's maybe life more than even YouTube. Maybe it's a life thing. Life is like one big YouTube, But yeah, it's punctuated equilibrium, as the biologists might say, where, animals will evolve in some sort of like general equilibrium state, small changes in their evolutionary development, and then some huge change, maybe in response to an environmental change or, I don't know, population change or something else. I don't know. I'm not a biologist, but point is, we are in one of those punctuated moments here because, yeah, I mean, I remember like, I had a few videos blow up on like the smaller exponential scale. When you first have a channel, a video blowing up is like getting 200 views. And you're like, holy fuck, dude, 200 views? Like, I'm not joking. And then, like my first videos like still don't have over 1,000 views. But, so I have 71 videos, and then like the one that really was the first like exponential one was the My Little Pony one, which was like a year or 2 ago. And that currently has 93,000 views. And that was like the one that was like, holy shit, man, I have a YouTube channel. After making like dozens of videos. Yeah, my first 10, 15 videos, like my first 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. My first 12 videos have over 1,000 views. And all this is to say, the new video, which I released just 49 hours ago on Friday, just around this time on Friday, has over 200,000 views. The video has over 200,000 views in 2 days. And like, I mean, it like stops me in my tracks. It's really like, just bizarre and so cool. I mean, I guess I didn't really think of this, but like, if I had to say a metaphor, it's like if you were like, hey, can I have some ice cream? And someone like dumped the most like amazing ice cream all over you. And like, you like, yeah. It's like, whoa, okay. Thank you, I guess. Maybe that's not how, that's not how everyone would respond to ice cream getting dumped on them. I'm just saying, like, in a situation where maybe you're in like a bathing suit and like it's a sunny day and like you don't mind getting ice cream dumped on you, like you're cool with it and you like it and it's what you wanted and it's like so much more than what you wanted, so you're like, oh wow, this is like yeah, no, that's not a good metaphor because it would be uncomfortable to get ice cream dumped on you, probably. But I, oh my God, there's so many nice comments. Like, let me tell you a comment I'm just checking my comments right now. This is from 12 minutes ago. Someone says, I just finished watching this analysis, if I can call it that, and it's really beautiful, this point of view, the explanations. I literally have no words. Everything was explained in the details, buddy. Hope you keep up with this kind of videos. Also, I was browsing your channel and I found it quite interesting. You're going to get a new subscriber soon. That's so cute and nice. No one says that. People are usually, I either subscribed or people usually say it definitively, like you just got a new subscriber. Rarely do people say you're going to get one soon. It implies I'm reading the comment before they subscribe, which it could be true because it was 12 minutes ago. But yeah, always think about who you subscribe to. Never make a rash decision to subscribe to someone on YouTube. That's a very serious decision, and I think you should always make sure to take it very carefully. So yeah, I'm really blown away. I mean, I don't know why Breaking Bad content is like the perfect fucking thing that YouTube loves. So I get suggested Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul videos, right? Obviously. And I just got suggested one the other day. And it's why Breaking Bad became a meme. And I just started watching it. It seemed really good. I'm gonna finish watching it later. But I looked at the channel. The channel has under 2,000 subscribers, 16 videos, is like a filmmaker. Like the videos are like short films, like artistic short films. Most of them have 100 views or 30 views or 50 views. They look good, but it's just like, content that YouTube is not perfect for. Like, it's not going to broadcast your short film to a lot of people. Then this channel, which I don't know how many subscribers they had before the Breaking Bad video, but it was probably under 1,000, I would guess. Well under 1,000, probably. Anyways, they have under 2,000 now. And why Breaking Bad became a meme video from 7 days ago has 248,000 views when all their other videos. Okay, and then they have a few other video essays, like they have one about The Last of Us with 22,000 views. But like, their short film that they put a ton of work into has 500 views. And then they do a video about Breaking Bad and they get 250,000 views. And it's the same with my channel. I mean, like, my channel has completely blown up from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. It's just wild how Breaking Bad is like the perfect algorithmic thing for YouTube. And like, people just, I was talking to my dad about this. He's like, I'm kind of surprised that people like still want to watch videos about Breaking Bad with it being like, off the air for such a long time. And like, I mean, people just stay hyped about the show, and it deserves it. I know that I say in my video that at the end of the day, I do prefer Better Call Saul, but I respect Breaking Bad. And if people comment like, oh, Breaking Bad is the best show ever, it's like genius and brilliant, I'm like, I respect that. I totally respect that. It's hard for me to, I don't feel that way. It's not my personal favorite, because I mean, if I had never seen Better Call Saul, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I wasn't getting around to watching Breaking Bad, but if I had watched Breaking Bad and I had never seen Better Call Saul, I mean, it would definitely be one of my top shows. Breaking Bad. I don't know. Would it be my favorite show ever? I don't think so. I mean, and also like missing out on the whole like watching it with other people thing. Like, I think there's like a really fun sense of community, and I get that, and I was like, I was like the right age to like watch it when it dropped. I have no idea why I didn't. I just like was doing other stuff. And I just, other shows would come out around that time. I don't know the exact timeline, but like Lost and like these shows where you feel like, am I going to sign up for this whole thing? I feel like I have to sign up for it, and I don't want to do that. So my dislike of signing up for things, I think, is what made me just like, nah, Breaking Bad. I don't know, but you might say that doesn't make any sense because it comes out one season at a time, and I don't have an answer to that. So I don't, regardless, here we are today, chilling. massively successful reaction. Like at this point, the Breaking Bad video could get zero, like it could get 0 views, and it would be a massive success after just 2 days. I'm serious. Like it's my third most viewed video. Out of 71 videos, I've been doing this for almost 3 years. It's my third most viewed video after 2 days. Oh my gosh. Like it's just, yeah, it's really, I'm just completely taken aback, and it's like it's really weirdly crazily good, and I'm just like, wow. Okay, so anyways, that's how that's going. Yeah, so I'll give a few more numbers for that. So this video, which has 200 and something thousand views in the first 2 days, okay, my next most number of views was my last video, the Better Call Saul Is Revenge Enough video, and that had 28,000 views in the first 2 days in the same span of time. So yeah, what is that, like yeah, so 28,000, and now this one has 207. So it's really exponential. It's a enormous factor over yeah. What is that? 207 divided by 28, what is it, like? Okay, 7. So yeah, it's over 7 times as many. And I just don't know. I mean, it's so cool to have so many people listening to my thoughts about things and getting to see so many different people's reactions. And I mean, I really have so much fun with this. I put so much work into it, and I love that I've sort of discovered this medium for myself, like YouTube, where I can actually reach an audience with my work. It's really amazing, and I put so much like work into just, I don't know, like I in this video I got so into the editing. Like so I did a really short podcast last week, and I got wildly into the editing last weekend. I was just putting so many hours into it. Not excessive hours, like it was it was the number of hours necessary to like make a product that was like workable. But what was cool with this project is like, so I'm always having to worry about the copyright stuff. I can, every clip I use, I have to make sure it's like I don't use more than like 10 seconds of it if I'm using the audio, no more than like 15 seconds if I'm not using the audio of continuous clip. Even that might be too much, and cut it together with other clips from a good distance away, in the timeline and so on. So like make sure to just basically, I was going to say trick. It's really not tricking. It's just like playing by the rules of the copyright censors, which I do value. I think they are like not horrible, like the fair use sort of laws. And I think they're good. So like, and relatively easy to keep to, so much so that like, this is the first time this has happened in quite a long time. My first draft of the video passed the YouTube copyright censors. Like, I uploaded like 2 or I think 3 drafts, and like the third one was the final one. I uploaded each one, over the course of a few days while I'm working on the project. I'm uploading drafts to make sure there's no copyright stuff, and do that in sort of my downtime, free time or something like that to, just stay making progress towards it. And yeah, none of them had any copyright issues. I was like, okay. And then like when you release a video, like it's nerve-wracking, y'all. I mean, my part 3 Better Call Saul video, about 1 hour after release, got fully demonetized or something like that. I don't know. There's people commented when I called it demonetized. They're like, it's not technically demonetized. I don't know. There's different, but it made it so I can't earn money from it. The video is monetized. They put ads on it. Yeah, it would be one thing for it to, I don't care. If they were like, oh, you can't make money off of it, especially at the time, I'm like, I don't care. Because that was, that's a few $100s at most. And it's like, okay. But they they also put ads on it, and that sucks. They had put tons of mid-roll ads in it. So it did allow me to say, oh, just watch an ad-free version on the Patreon, but I don't want to, I don't want to have to do that shit. But anyways, that was 1 hour after it released. I was in the car with a family member driving multiple hours. And like, it was just like, oh my gosh. We were on like a multiple hour car ride. And I look at my phone and I'm driving. And, not when I looked at my phone, obviously. But I looked at my phone and I'm like, oh, great. It was fucking, the green dollar sign turned red. Now, so we pulled off and we pulled into a Dunkin' Donuts so I could use their Wi-Fi with my laptop. Because, the phone didn't show me the detail of whether it was limited in where it was being shown. Because if it was like not being shown in the US or any, major country or whatever, I guess if it was limited in its visibility, I was gonna have to take it down and then like re-upload it and days later when I got back from my trip. It was gonna be a nightmare. Luckily, it wasn't limited in its visibility, so I just dealt with the ads and it was all good. That being said, I definitely retain emotion from that experience, and the body keeps the score, as they say. And I am definitely like that first hour after releasing a video is it's tenuous. What I do love about releasing my videos on Fridays, besides the very good algorithm seeming reaction, is other YouTubers release videos on Fridays, so I can like watch like the new Bobby Broccoli video to like distract myself from the stress of like the new video release. It's not stressful. I don't mean to overstate it. It's extremely exciting, and excitement is just inherently a little bit stressful. But no, it's overall like just a super hyper stimulating experience to release a video, watch the views and comments and everything roll in. Tons of new subscribers, like tons. I mean, I got 1,300 subscribers yesterday. I mean, it's just like every minute. Yeah, it's more than every minute. Yeah. Right? 24 times 60. 24 hours. Yeah. So 240. 1,200. And then 40 times 6 is 240. So 1,440. So 1,440 would be a subscriber every minute. And so, a little bit short of that. But just wait, how much was it again? 1,340. So only 100. So I basically did get a subscriber every minute. This is just it's so crazy and cool. I'm so happy. Like, it's so great to find something that's very popular and be able to like give my perspective on it. I'm so used to like, I talk a lot about art on this podcast, and it's like, I'm used to art being like, so just like, I do a thing. I do a painting, I do a song. I did sort of make videos a little bit many years ago that were like just sort of experimental or creative or something. And that's the same thing. And it's like, that's all valid and good. But it's also good sometimes to just like make a video about something people already are very interested in. I think that's a very valid pursuit. I'm very happy to like find something that there's this common overlap between myself and 207,000 people so far. Like, it's really wild. I mean, so in the last hour, 4,434 people clicked on the new video. And the average person watched it for 20 minutes, which is just 20 minutes of like me talking interspersed with clips. It's really mind-boggling. And if it sounds like I'm saying all this to brag, I'm definitely not. I do feel proud of it. But I'm saying all this to try to make it real to myself, because it's such a surreal feeling, and it really, the numbers are like hard to even like comprehend, for me at least. So really, really happy to reach so many people and get the sort of, the nice response of so many beautiful comments. And yeah, here we are. So yeah, thanks for listening to the podcast. I'm not done. I'm just saying thanks in the middle. We have a bunch more to do. But thanks for listening and thanks for supporting the channel because yeah, I'm gonna be doing stuff in the future. I got more project ideas. I've been working on following this AI company for a while. That's sort of getting interesting, but getting nowhere closer to a point where a video is coming out. But that's going to be something where how much do I want to try to spin it into sort of like a popular narrative about AI or a popular like I want to make it very accessible. Like I found this cool AI company, but maybe it is going to be a rabbit hole. So I'm going to have to figure out how to. There's something non-accessible about. No, rabbit holes are very accessible. You just have to find a way to do it, and it is. So okay, so I've definitely getting all these subscribers from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. It is definitely inherently pigeonholing, and it's going to be interesting to release a video about a different subject, and I'm not in any way gonna expect the continued exponential growth that I've seen. It would be really foolish to expect that if I release a video about anything non Better Call Saul Breaking Bad related. The only things non Better Call Saul Breaking Bad related that I can expect, like a solid, like really, really solid response, like maybe similar to like the previous videos, if not the current one, would be like The Sopranos or like other similar shows. And that's, I fully intend to watch The Sopranos eventually, but I'm not in a rush. I really am going to take some time, just do more non-video making stuff, do more reading, do more writing. I was getting into like short story writing before working on this Breaking Bad video project. And I'm just going to be chilling. Honestly, if I don't like come out with a lot of video stuff, and that's disappointing to you, I apologize, but it might be a little while, or it might be quick. I don't fucking know. I remember when it was like I did the My Little Pony video and it was a huge banger. And then I think like 2 days later or something, I just released that short video of Dave Chappelle because I came across his special and found that one line so revealing and wanted to just post it on my YouTube channel. And it's very funny that I did that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what would get me to do that nowadays, but it's gonna be very, very fun. But whatever, this goes without saying, but obviously feel free to unsubscribe at any time to the Patreon. Don't feel any pressure. Because I don't feel too much pressure about giving much to the Patreon. I just sort of do what I like to do, and there is actually some stuff coming up, potentially video making in the nearer future. I might do a rock stacking event. If you haven't checked out the International Rock Stacking League, that's another channel I do. I created a game of rock stacking, and it's fun. You stack rocks, and there are some rules, and it's super fucking fun. People have great times, and people really learn about themselves and society. But yeah, again, I'm just like in this break. It feels so good to finish a big project and have it just go so well and like not have any copyright issues and like, yeah, just I really like, yeah, I almost like was feeling emotions about it yesterday and like almost like slightly tearing up a little and being like, this is just, and like when I thought about just like being done, it's like, wow, this was really months. I mean, it's been like 4 months. When did I record that episode 2 of the podcast? January 22nd. So it's been 3.5 months since I decided, February, March, April. Yeah, 3.5 months since I decided to do a Breaking Bad video. It's like, that's a while. That's just, okay. Taking a little bit of a coffee break. Yeah, I mean, the amount of hours I pour into these projects, I mean, wow. Okay. So that's great, and that is all really good. But I know what you're thinking, you longtime fans of the Verbal Journal podcast. And if you're new and you're like, it doesn't look like anyone really listens to this podcast, like there are no like likes or comments on the post, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. We have a very silent majority, a very silent, diehard, just like really passionate fan base. Anyways, okay. So, what was I going to say? So yeah, the longtime fans of the podcast will know that we have a tradition here, a segment actually for fans of segments. We have segments on the podcast, and first segment that I like to do sometimes is the weekly report, checking the weekly report of my phone use that my Samsung phone gives me. So it gives me a weekly report, and so it gives me it on Sundays. So I do the podcast on Sundays, so ipso ergo de facto macho, I should be sharing it on my podcast. So weekly report, daily average screen time 51 minutes on my phone, which is 25 minutes more than last week's daily average. So I usually fluctuate around 45, 30, 50, but it is a little bit of an increase. Why is it so much? Apparently there's some YouTube in there. That's a little bit unusual because there's Lee Chess. There's always Chess. And there's some messages app, sending texts, I like to have a good hour of messaging a week. And then Lee Chess an hour. And then YouTube is an hour. That's why it's more of this. So what was I watching on my phone on YouTube? What was I doing on YouTube on my phone? I must have been watching some video. Sometimes I'll bring my phone, into the kitchen. I'm doing dishes or cooking, but usually that's my laptop, not my big powerful laptop I'm recording this podcast on, but my other small, smaller. I'm imagining the dog. Is it a Doge or is it just a regular dog? The meme of a dog where there's the big buff one and then there's the tiny crying, cowering one. I have that with my laptops, basically. So anyways, that was the weekly report. Again, there's no reason for this segment. It really doesn't make any sense because I'm not even trying to limit I guess I'm trying to limit my screen time, but I will say I did tell a client recently about how Samsung's phones allow you to just set limits on your apps in a really convenient way. And they were really into it. I was so happy because it's fun when you can help in such a direct and practical way as suggesting a setting in someone's phone. And I was like, oh yeah, what they were talking about really wanting to limit their use of Instagram. And I was like, oh, what type of phone do you have? And they were like, Samsung. And I'm like, oh, actually Samsung. And iPhones might have it too. I just know because I have a Samsung. It's just in the settings. You don't have to download an app to limit your apps. You just go into the settings and it's a setting. I don't even use the setting because I don't use Instagram or Reddit on my phone. I use Reddit a very small amount on my computer sometimes just to scope out chess news or other stuff like that. But I don't use apps where you get sucked into them, except on my computer, like YouTube. I definitely watch way too much. I watch a lot of YouTube. But yeah, it's definitely I don't know, whatever. So yeah, it's a fun segment, not because I'm trying to limit my screen time necessarily, but because it's just it's a good way to check in basically, and it's nice to have a routine. Another segment we have is to check the mailbox at verbaljournalpodcast@gmail.com, and you can write in. And in fact, you're encouraged to write in. Please write in to verbaljournalpodcast@gmail.com. I think Verbal Journal was taken. I think, right? Because I definitely tried Verbal Journal first. It must have been taken. I will say there are no messages this week, which is not abnormal. Because like I said, the fanatical, passionate fan base of Verbal Journal podcast is is very taciturn. Is that the right word? Taciturn. I think that has a negative connotation to it. Yeah. No, just means reserved or uncommunicative in speech. Oh, and then people also ask, is taciturn negative or positive? Yeah, it's negative. Okay, why did I have to look that up? If I have a negative connotation of it, why would I have just made that up? You know what I mean? You got to just trust your body sometimes. Okay, so next, what do we have to talk about? I mean, I had a few ideas. I had a few things to talk about. I'm gonna take a quick break and use the bathroom really quick, and but I'm gonna cut it out, so I didn't even need to mention that. I thought of an interesting fact when I was in the bathroom, which was I just went to the bathroom and got right back and started recording. I definitely didn't get distracted for quite a while doing other things. But anyways, yeah, I realized, so I mentioned on recent podcast episodes, like, oh, in the last month, I got 30,000 views on all my videos. Like, that's what it was a few weeks ago, I mentioned. Like, that was the previous month from a few weeks ago. And then 1 week later, I was like, oh, there's an increase in views, you know, because, like, the season 6 of Better Call Saul or just different stuff. And I was like, oh, in the last month from this week, I've gotten 40,000 views. And then so it's just interesting to bring that up again in light of the getting 150,000 views yesterday, or 120,000 views or something yesterday or whatever. It's really wild. So I'm just really riding that high. Anyways, one thing I wanted to talk about was like the use of music in videos, because it was interesting. I got to the end of this video and I was like, oh, I didn't put music in it. Like, I just forgot about that. And I haven't been putting music in like the main parts of the videos for a while, but I've been putting it in the end. And like with Better Call Saul, I just love the theme so much. So I would like feel almost like compelled, like I had to sort of fit it into, one sec. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. A plane flew overhead, and so I had to cut. And that was all that happened. I did not again get distracted and do like numerous other things, including eating, and I think I peed again, honestly. Anyway, so yeah, back to the pod. Yeah, so I was thinking about how I like didn't put music in the outro of this video. Like, well, I did actually. If you watch at the very end, there's a "it's gonna be me" thing. But a little what do they call that in a movie? It's like a little bonus clip. There's a better some sort of thing, end credits scene, cut scene, and something like that. Anyways. Yeah, in general, I didn't have like music. You know, I wasn't like. I guess Breaking Bad has a theme too. Yeah. You know, I just wasn't as enamored with it for whatever reason. I mean, it's fine. I like it. I just I didn't feel like I had to include it in the same way that I did the Better Call Saul theme. And so that's just whatever. But, I've been talking a lot about like what feels to me motivating about making videos and how that aligns with like, motivations outside of content production, like how I really want to view my video making as like self-expression more than I guess creating content, and that's just like a fun little dynamic to dance around with. Well, I was thinking about that in light of like the way music is used in videos, because I watch a lot of video essays that have background music and they do it really well, and it's really hard to do. And I know from experience, like I've definitely tried to do background music, and I have several videos that I look back on, and the background music is like an actual drawback of the video. You know, just like me not having a pop filter for this recent video is a drawback. Everything has drawbacks, and it's not a bad thing, and I don't really stress about it. I don't really care. You know, art is always going to be unfinished in some capacity, and you're always just kind of releasing it. But with that being said, yeah, I mean, it's good to improve over time. And I don't think cutting out background music entirely is necessary for me long term. I just wanted to do it in these videos. I like the chill feel of these recent videos, just having no music and being yeah, just being a more kind of like, I guess almost podcast like kind of vibe. So I don't know, but when I watch videos, I do notice the music in the background, and I'm like, huh, it's really interesting. I think the Bobby Broccoli videos I've been watching recently, yeah, use music in really good ways. He's also amazing with animation. I don't know if I'll ever. Maybe I should try to learn Blender. I would have a lot of fun with it. It's the software he uses to do like all kinds of different. But I do just have a really good time. I mean, so my sort of like visual animations that I do with the trippy visuals whenever I go on a tangent in the video. I don't know. I mean, I've gotten some, there's always people who don't like that. And I understand that. You can't please everybody. It's not even like I'm trying to please people with the visuals. There's no perfect solution of what to do. So people can criticize the visuals, but no one really has a better solution. Like, if I'm... I mean, I'm not going to just cut out all the... I can't just cut out all the parts where I go on tangents, because that's, like, what makes it special in a lot of ways. So, like, that would be absurd. I would never... Who cares? I would never care. But, like, I need to have certain tangents. I mean, trust me, I cut out plenty of tangents. But... the ones I keep in, I have to keep in. And so it's like, okay, well, I need to show something on the screen. And obviously I used the backgrounds for the first, half of the Better Call Saul series. I made those backgrounds and that was good. And at a few points in this process, I was like, damn, I almost wish I did a background. Cause like at first doing visuals the way I did it, where I basically cut a tiny bit of the show and sort of elongate it, maybe slow it down, loop it into itself, add effects, all that stuff, layer that, export that, bring it back, layer it more, export it, bring it back, layer it. It's pretty fun and I have a lot of fun with it. At first it's less work than the background creating 100 different images in Photoshop that blend into each other and then blending them into each other and then doing that, blah blah blah. At first it's less work. It does add up to just as much, if not more work, because I do it many times. I have many of those tangents. So there was a point or two where I'm like, oh, like, and also I was like a little bit like, I don't know. I don't love it. It's like, it's cool and stuff, but I'm not like, yeah, to me it is a little bit much in some ways. Or it's like, there's no better way to solve the problem that, like, there's nothing to show on screen. I mean, it has to be some sort of... I mean, in the future, I'll just experiment with more different styles of visual creation, and I am really happy with each of them. I made sure they were, like, soft enough that they weren't abrasive too much, in my opinion. So I think I walked that line actually well, but... yeah, in the future, I'll do different stuff. There's all different. I might use more like video record, like I love in the video I did about the psychoanalyzing Trump's COVID press conferences one. I'm filming things, but it's like artistic, sort of like you're watching something happen almost naturally, whether it's something burning or something being dumped on something or different. Yeah. So like pouring things and having them flow around. I'm gonna experiment with all kinds of different visuals. For sure. And I might even buy a camera if I get it, if I get enough of a motivation. But for now, my phone is good. It's got 4K and stuff. It's just, I would feel more secure filming on a camera. Just like, things happen and it's just your phone will like do weird stuff sometimes. So people love the Lewis segment. That's been really fun to get everyone's feedback on the Lewis segment. I was really happy to give Lewis the attention he deserved and deserves. Lewis is just, he's just such a cool fucking guy. I mean, it's the only word for it. He's just so cool. Just really look up to Lewis. I did realize, I've mentioned on a few earlier podcast episodes that like the only podcast I listen to, and I'm not saying it's the only good podcast, just I don't listen to podcasts much. The only one I listen to is the Not Even a Show podcast, which is their Patreon podcast. So I do a Patreon podcast. and they do like I sort of got the idea from them, and I really like their podcast. So I was like, oh, I'll do like a Patreon podcast. That's a good idea. And I definitely don't like steal things from them, but I am inspired by them in certain ways. And if I did steal things from them, that would be fine because they steal things from other podcasts. So it would be sort of meta in that way. They even stole the idea of stealing things from a podcast, from a specific podcast. I forget the name of it. I think it was like Canadian or something. I don't know. But but yeah, I just really connected their sense of humor and stuff. And, I obviously did a video about Not Even a Show. I really liked that. I think they're dope. So I still follow their Patreon ever since making that video about them, and listen to their podcast and listen to old episodes of their podcast. And I realized that they have this joke on one of the episodes where Ben is telling some story about something with a friend of his, and Chris thinks he gets the friend's name wrong after going on some like side thing. They're coming back to the story. And Chris is like, oh, so yeah, what's up with your friend Lewis? And Ben's like, no, that's not his name. And like his name was just like something completely different, like Greg or something, just like totally different. And Chris was like, where did I get Lewis from? And then they'd had this like running joke of like, who's Lewis? Like, talk about Lewis. And I realized that as I was getting into the Lewis thing, watching Breaking Bad, I was like, oh, am I like, why am I? Because I wasn't, I was joking around in the video, but I'm joking around because it was already funny to me. Like I was watching Breaking Bad and like, you can see in my notes, I'm like, oh, Lewis is so fucking cool. And like, so yeah, that was what I was thinking watching it. So I wanted to share that joy with you all. But I did sort of reflect, oh, I wonder if I was like primed to really like Lewis because of this joke on this one NEAS podcast episode where they are joking around about how much they like this imaginary Lewis person. So yeah, that is a fun little thing I thought I would share. Oh man. Okay, I should probably call it for today. I mean, this is probably a good podcast length. I'm so happy with how things are going with this channel. I have a lot of people recommending Succession also. I'm not sure if I'll get to that anytime soon. I may watch. I have a few shows that I may watch. So I may stay in the media analysis sphere a bit. I do have some other ideas. As I mentioned, video about an AI company. I have a whole list of other video ideas, but I wouldn't want to mention most of them because I have to like give more thought. One of them is just about professionalism and the concept of professionalism, but I just have to do some more reading with that. And in that vein, I'm going to just chill out the rest of the day. It's a nice chill Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and just relax and read, maybe play some chess online. And oh yeah, I like to update the podcast about my fantasy baseball league. So I did end up losing last week. I think I knew I would lose because I did an okay job, but I threw a lot of pitchers out there early in the week, and I maxed out. I didn't realize you're only. I mean, it's good. There's this limit that's good. For the game theory, it's good. It limits how many pitchers you can have that have starts in a week. So you can add and drop pitchers to get new pitchers who have starts coming up, so you can get points when they start in the game. But if you do that too many times and you add too many pitchers, then you actually reach that limit of 12 pitchers a week, and then none of your pitchers get to get any more points. That's not the reason I lost or anything. It was more just like other factors in addition to that. But yeah, I just, I rolled the dice with pitchers earlier in the week. They didn't do great and whatever. Anyway, so I'm 3-1. Now I'm losing right now. It's the last day. I'm 45 points down. So that's a huge deficit. I did add a bunch of pitchers because I'm nowhere near maxing out this week. So I have 5 pitchers with starts. Julio Urias, not Kenley Jansen. I did add him though, so maybe he'll close. Michael Kopech, Mason Miller, Hayden Wesneski, Cal Quantrill, who's the only other one I know besides Julio Urias, who's who I picked up in the draft and I've had this whole time. So it's been it's been interesting. So I have 5 starters. They could all get a lot of points. I have a bunch of hitters obviously too. Matt Olson already got a home run, so he's doing great. For me. So yeah, there's a chance of me coming back and making it here. There really is a chance of me pulling through. Also, the only other team that's 3-1 is now tied on the last day. So anything could happen for them. And yeah, so I'm gonna stop recording the podcast. Pray for my fantasy baseball team, please, to whatever God you might believe in. And I'm going to just have a nice rest of the day. So this has been a great time. I hope you enjoyed listening. Feel free to write into verbaljournalpodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what you're thinking, how you're feeling about the pods, any thoughts you have about things that I discuss, and any questions you have or comments about anything. And we will resume next week with another pod ep. I am just I'm really, really grateful that I live in a time where there's something called YouTube that I can use to express myself to a large audience. So just very appreciative of that. And thanks for supporting the channel and listening. All right. Bye-bye.
This is a podcast.